Okay guys, welcome back to the tutorial and this video. I said this video about daggers and swords. Daggers and swords. And daggers and swords are really, it's one of my favorite things. They use a lot of daggers and swords in many movies. Like, I think you watch Blade, and my favorite weapon of all is in Bleach. I think you guys watch anime, right? Like, if you're a fan of anime, I think you watch Bleach. And a couple of daggers were shown in Naruto. I mean, you guys watch anime, so you get what I mean. I watch a lot of Naruto and anime, so I decided some inspiration came in. I decided to teach others. Some people don't know how daggers look like, or they don't even know what kind of shape they need to keep the dagger. So I just want to make a simple tutorial. Well, one of the things you need is you draw the form. Well, I used to give advice a lot that if you want to draw something, divide it into three sections. Especially when it's complicated, or you find it a little. And sometimes, like I said, this might look simple to you, but it's not really like, oh, it's simple, it's simple. But, it's something that you need to put your mind to, and because there are different types of dagger, and you want to be like creative, and you want to be. So I want you to be creative with it. I mean, anyone can draw a knife, right? But can you draw it in different ways? That's why you need this video, because I want to teach you how to draw weapons like in different ways, how to draw your weapons in different ways. So I'm thinking like, okay, maybe you want to like draw something that is um, really maybe like a long sword or short sword. You can draw them, right? And these are basic steps. So first thing about it is that when you start drawing swords or drawing things, just be creative. Just try any shape. You can decide to make it long. You can decide to make it thick. You can decide to make it bigger, fatter, thinner, and you can decide to make it all these things. Well, and also you can decide to make it cooler. And it depends on what you mean by cooler. And most of the time when I'm drawing swords, I have to think of the sharp end, and most of the time I'm too creative is the handle. So, and you have to be careful with this part. So just draw any kind of way, be creative with it. I'm just showing you different shape of swords that you can find and see in also anywhere. So, well, you can try okay, let's see, try you can try to make your swords look more beveled. So now when you're drawing your lines, now remember when you're drawing your lines and you're drawing them with all that, you should remember that you swords have funny shapes, right? They need at the blade section they need a straight line. I mean, you want to think it's sharp, right? You want to nothing that is blunt. So they have the straight lines at the edge, and you can make possibly any kind of swords. Well, one of the things I try to do is just keep the sword in shape and make sure they look good and make it fast. I mean, so boy, you all know that most of the swords have these sharp pointed ends, and but one of the things that about swords is that they have like this handle and this blade. I mean, like seriously, you can. I mean, take a look at a knife. You can go to your kitchen. The best inspiration of drawing swords and daggers is go to your kitchen in your house and find a knife. And now be careful with knives. I mean, that you take it and harm yourself. Be careful with knives. Okay, I'm just saying that if you take a knife and look at the shape of the knife, just look at the details, what makes up the knife, and you can decide whether you want to shrink it or make it bigger. So I think that's basically it. So you make it big, split it, or make it bigger. And there are other ways you can do this, and the basic and most common way I have seen many people do is that they want to draw, like just draw a triangle and a square, and that's really basic, but you can decide that. So you're just drawing daggers with different shapes and different sizes, and you just want to look at the shape and just understand the basics. You can practice the shapes, and when you practice the shapes, you get better at drawing daggers. Okay, so and there are many things that about daggers. I mean, this video can't cover it all. Sometimes people think, oh, like it's a dagger. Like, why should I care? Like, well, these daggers are not like the typical daggers. I could draw a normal dagger for like really small. Like, but it started like like I bevel them. Like, you just been creative with daggers, right? So I think one of the things that people make mistake about is that they think, oh my god, like it's a dagger. So not just that simple. I mean, one of the creative things you can do with a drawing is to just make it more complex. Just make something simple, something small, something that no one would care about, and make it more complex. And that is the most interesting thing you can ever do. So, yeah, and one of the things that you can also look at some blades, like things, weapons at war. War weapons. Things that are used in the wars and battlefields. I think you read a lot of stories. I mean, most of you should. You should read a lot of stories, right? Like you read a lot of stories or movies. Maybe you watch a lot of movies, right? And you see that the daggers are. I mean, you see typical daggers. Why don't you notice them? Because they just look like every typical dagger. But if you can find a way to know how to design and create, and then you learn how to draw your own character, you can draw these kinds of daggers, or you can change their shapes. I mean, it's kind of cool. And I think one of the best animes I can recommend out there for people who want to learn to draw knives and daggers is Bleach. And Bleach has a lot of swords and blades, and also, I think maybe you can watch Sword Art Online. I watch a lot of animes, and so just forget about that. So, and I think one of the things that you can also look at is you can try some really funny shapes. You can be creative. You can try drawing a dagger that looks like a moon. Yeah, draw a dagger that looks like a moon. A dagger that looks like a moon. I mean, it's kind of cool and nice, but it's going to be okay. I mean, you can draw something like a dagger that looks like a star, or a blade, or a frisbee dagger, something that flies through the air. You can be creative. You can draw something cool. I know you guys are awesome, right? This is basic stuff. Some of you some of you are open to look at stuff like this, and you're like, wow, like this is really cool. But just be creative with your daggers. And I just thought that maybe I just want to point something out about daggers. I mean, to this time, I don't I don't know why I'm creating the videos about daggers. But anyway, well, I just think because I'm a fan of many things, so I think drawing daggers can be important. I'll be planning on drawing hair and battlefield warriors and sci-fi and fantasy. I love those kind of stuff. So and also you can check out my video on one of my drawings of cars. I'm gonna draw a car in a video, and I think you must have seen it. And if you haven't seen it, you can check it. I have some videos on cars and aliens. I think something like that. So I'm drawing aliens, and most of the time sci-fi armors, sci-fi armors, and battle armors and battle suits. Something like that. I mean, my favorite is Iron Man. I mean, if you watch Iron Man, you check out some of these really, really cool, there's really, really cool suits. And like that guy has got cool suits, right? So, well, anyway, so I think that's basically it, Well, what do you expect? It's really cool. And let's just say that just practice on your paper, right? Practice, and also yes, remember to subscribe to my channel, and that way you'll be helping me. And I really need you to subscribe. And please, I'm begging you, please subscribe. Okay, okay, please subscribe, please subscribe. All right. I'm begging you right now. I'm begging you, right? Please subscribe. Thank you very much. You're such a nice person. You're such a good person. Thank you. So, and well, oh, and one more thing about swords. Whenever you're drawing them, just make them feel more curved. Like that's something I forgot to put in this video. I might put that in another video. Maybe when you're drawing, I will show you that in another video of how to draw swords in motion. I mean, if they're moving through the air, they are more curved than more straight. And it's not really something that happens in real life, okay? But I'm just saying that to explain of something. Like they are more curved, and they have this kind of I think they have this kind of shape, like it's like the blade curves through the air. Well, I'll show you that in another video, how to draw swords in motion. This is swords in physical state. Maybe they just sitting on a table, or the swords in motion are different from swords like this one.